Welcome to the Sims MATLAB. Dr. Kamran Khaja is here. We are going to start our journey from step one to the residency. So this is USMLE webinar. So we have invited Dr. Gibran, who is a resident in Tidal Health, Salisbury, Maryland, USA, and our guest Dr. Zawar Asif and Dr. Mohammad Umair, who has just applied for the match. Thank you so much. So I will introduce myself and then we will continue. My name is Dr. Kamran Khaja, and I am a graduate of King Edward Medical University. So I have started a Sims MATLAB platform. In that platform, you can come and have the free daily sessions on the Zoom meetings. I'm teaching USMLE Step 1 MRCP student at this time. We're starting the lab session soon. And in these sessions, you can join from our Zoom sessions. This is free, and you can join from the live on YouTube. So this platform is totally free at this time, and we are not charging for the Zoom meetings and online YouTube sessions. So we will be discussing not only the theory steps, we will be discussing the question and answers regarding the USMLE, lab, MRCP. So my lecture and our other mentors' lecture will be not only theory based, it will be exam oriented. Like after the theory, we have the sessions of question and answers, and after that, we discuss about the different MCQs practice in our WhatsApp group and in our Facebook. So you can follow our Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube channel so that you can be notified before the lectures. Thank you so much. So I will hand over to Dr. Mohammad Gibran, who is our chief guest here, to describing all the journey for the USMLE students, and this will be very beneficial. And we will start from the USMLE step 1. What are exams and what are pattern and what are the basics techniques, what are the sources, and we will go extreme till residency, till the match process. So stay with us. So we will start it. I will now invite Dr. Mohammad Gibran to continue.
Hi everybody. Thanks, Dr. Kamran for the introduction. It was very nice, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to talk to the people who are going to start their USMLE journey or who are thinking about starting it. So I came from the same background as well. Like I started doing my USMLE and then I opted towards residency. So it's a very long marathon, and uh, it's a very small steps you need to take to reach the destination. And sometimes it's really hard sometimes in the middle of the journey to keep it going, but you have to be resilient. You have to have the humility of undergoing the stress of it, and eventually you will reach the destination you started. So thank you very much, Dr. Kamran, again, for providing me the opportunity.
I really appreciate Dr. Gibran was one of my close friend and very dedicated student. I remember he just got very excellent scores and just got residency. And I appreciate your efforts. I appreciate your dedication for the students. And this will be very beneficial for all of the students. So let's continue, Dr. Gibran. So Dr. Gibran is now the resident in the USA doing PG1 training in internal medicine. He is also a graduate of King Edward Medical University. So we will be now starting. Thank you, Dr. Gibran.
All right. So I'll start from this. So we'll start how the journey usually starts. Like how we get into this journey. First, you have to make a decision, like whether you want to be a doctor in the USA, whether you want to be working in the USA in that environment and in that healthcare system. And you have to make a decision first. That all starts with that journey, because it's a very long commitment. It's a very long road. It's a very long journey, and you need to be committed to it before starting it. So the commitment is the first thing you need to have, and that's how it usually starts. So I made my decision in my third year of my MBBS that I'm going to go towards this journey, and I always being very strict in my making decision. Like if I'm going to go towards the journey, I'm going to neglect all other backup options. But that's not the case with everybody. Everybody has their own approach of deciding where they want to go for. But for me, is a thing like if you want to go for USMLE, then go for it only, so that you can be more focused and more oriented to the one thing rather than going for the three things and having difficulties in maintaining yourself in all three of them. So the USMLE journey usually starts with the step 1 preparation. But before the step 1, you need to be like ECFMG registered, and you need to register for the ECFMG. And After that, you can start preparing for the USMLE Step 1. Back in the time when I took my Step 1 exam, it used to be 3-digit score, and we have to work extra 3 to 4 months just to work on our scores to get it better with the evaluation like NBMEs and USAs we used to take. So, but after that, I think 2 years ago it went to pass fail, and now it's kind of easier in that respect that you don't have to work that much hard on improving the scores, but you still need to have the basics of the USMLEs, of all the like pathophysiology, pharmacology, everything. The basics come from the USMLE Step 1. So if you're going for the Step 2, your basics should be good, and the USMLE is a solid foundation that can help you build that. So first, you need to understand the exam structure. Like USMLE is still 8-hour exam with 7 blocks. Each block has 40 MCQs, and there's 1 hour of break time allocated. So if you going to do the calculations, it will usually go for 90 seconds for each MCQs, based on the difficulty of the examination. And the total expenditure for the USMLE Step 1 is first, you as I already mentioned, that you need to go with the ECFMG certification. You need to create an ID on the ECFMG website, and they charge you $160. And after that, you should start preparing. So your resources, most of the resources are UWorld. First aid is the must, and some people try to incline towards the Anki as well. That's a very good resource. Pathoma is a must, and Sketchy. These are a few resources that kind of must, and everyone should have it. One should work on it. And some other resources that you can use for the USMLE Step 1 preparation are Boards and Beyond, USMLE RX, and MBOS. But it all depends on your choice. But the things you need to do the most are UWorld, First Aid, Pathoma, and Sketchy. And Boards and Beyond if you're having any difficulty grabbing any difficult topic. Or you can go to the Kaplan, because I did Kaplan at that time for pharmacology, for physiology too. But it all depends on your choice. Like genetics, I did Kaplan for genetics as well. So it all depends what are your weaknesses, and which things you need to study more. You need to explore extra resources for that. And the UWorld these days, I think for a yearly subscription, it's gonna cost you around $559. So yeah, I would always suggest to go for a year subscription of UWorld, and uh, then you can sell it, or you can like share it with somebody else after you're done with it. So, and because there's not that much difference between 6 months and 1 year, so it's always better to go for the 1 year one. So the total, and after that, the exam fee, after you're done with the study materials and all that, the exam fee is around $1195, and you need to apply for the Step 1 exam through going through the ECFMG website. It's a simple procedure. You just need to fill an application, and they will let you know. After that, you will get the scheduling permit, and after getting the scheduling permit, you'll be able to go to the Prometri website and put it there and have the reservation wherever you want to take it. So it's a one-day exam.
Yes, I want to add something, Dr. Kamran. After
Yeah.
the ECFMG, a new update has been happened. So for many of the students, it's now My Intel. So actually, the same process is happening, but it has changed the name. ECFMG has been changed. Now it is converted into My Intel. Okay, so it is very important for all the students who are just applying at this time, because I have been receiving many queries about registration. So you should know that after the month of January, they have been accepting the application from My Intel. Okay, thank you so much.
All right. Thank you for giving me the information. I didn't know about. I know like my Intel is going to take over, but they're kind of in midway between. They're not completely taking it over, but they're still there. Yeah, I'm getting the update from them every day. Yeah, that's a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentioning.
This
Thank you for
this
that.
just started from month of the January, so that this was a new process, right? Thank
All
you.
right. So the resources for USMLE Step 1 we already discussed, like what you can do. So for my favorite one is the UWorld, and I think you should rely more on it, and the First Aid as well. And in addition to that, you should also go for Pathoma, Sketchy, and BNB. So the next thing is USMLE Step 2 after the Step 1, because Step 1 is now pass and fail. So the main thing these days that decides the number of interviews, if you the number of interview based on the scores is the USMLE Step 2 CK, and that's the most uh, the exam that is most focused. You need to be more focused on, and you need to prepare hard for, because the 2-3 months you're saving on Step 1 for improvement of score, you can spend 2 to 3 months on Step 2 CK. It's a longer exam than Step 1, one more extra block, almost 316 MCQs, and it's a 9-hour exam with 8 blocks, and difficulty level is a little more than the step one as well. It's a little more tiring, and it's usually the best time to take it is around your fourth year to final year of MBBS. And for the AMGs, it should be like they're usually taken in the 4 year med school. And so the question per block is almost the 40 doesn't exceed 40, but two of the block have 38 MCQs that include one of the abstracts that has 3 MCQs in it. So that the block with the abstracts has like 38 MCQs, and the passing score for step 2 CK. It used to be 209, but 2 years ago they bumped it up from 209 to 214, and the average score is like around 240 something. So it doesn't matter like if you're scoring average, but getting more score in step 2 is definitely a plus point if you're applying for a match. It helps you secure more interviews for sure, because that's the only step exam for ECFMG certification that has the score right now, because CS is already gone in 2020. Step 1 is pass and fail. OET doesn't have that much scores, only has a grading, and you need to just pass it. And so step 2 is the only one that's remaining with the score, and it's kind of the same as for expenses. It's kind of same as step 1. So, and quite the same procedure as well for filling out the application for step 2 and applying for the exam. So this is the total USMLE journey expenditure. It's kind of how much I spent, and maybe in the it's gonna vary for person to person because everybody has some different expenses. So that's kind of a generalized at how much you're going to spend on the USMLE. So for the registration, we already talked. We need around $160, $5, 160, 165. Step 1, UWorld Q Bank is for a year. You have to like $559. Step 1 fee is $1195, and step 2 UWorld fee is $559, and the exam fee is $20. Then comes the OET, that's $450, but that's Australian Australian dollars, not the American dollars. So an ACMG certification, after you're done with all of them and you have the medical degree, like having the MBBS degree, then you can apply for the ACMG certification. And ACMG certification has a separate pathways. I think the pathways has been they have already updated the pathway for this year, that you can go to their website and have a look on it. So it all depends, but whatever pathway you're choosing, you have to give $915 to get certified with ECMG to get the certificate. And the visa after that. So the visa, when you made the decision. So why I'm saying like why you need to be committed to USMLE when you started is when you're going to start the USMLE. I didn't know that the visa application, after filling out, it gives you a date of visa appointment a year later. So if you make a decision about about going for that track, then it's better for you to fill out the DS-160 in advance and get the interview date and start working on getting the observership that I'm going to talk later, how you can get the observerships in US. And so it's a $185 fee of the visa application that you need to fill out the DS-160. There are plenty of videos on YouTube you can access that can help you fill out this application, and you need to be quite honest in it, but you can change the application anytime. You just need to remember, you just need to pay the fee and get the appointment, and anytime later you can change the DS-160 and you can retain that data. So some people, whenever these days, most of the people, they use a visa agents because that's another way of getting the appointment earlier. But if you're starting a USMLE journey and you're not going to end it in like less than 6 months or 1 year, so it's better to get prepared for it in advance by having the visa application fee paid and having the appointment earlier before completing your steps, and don't need to worry about it. So if you go in hand with all these things, I know that it's really hard, but it makes the things easier eventually. So then after the visa appointment, you need to book the flight. I would say book it as soon as possible. You might need to take multiple flights to get to US in order to get it cheaper. But it all depends what are your preferences. It's usually around 1,000, 1,500, 2,000 return ticket. And average 3 months US stay is like I mentioned $2,000, but like it varies from person to person. Like how are you going to spend it there, and which cities you're going to. Is these cities have good public transport? So there are a lot of factors that we're going to talk about, and traveling expenditures like $500 that I'm going to talk about, like which means of way you can travel in US. And EROS application is an NRMPP, and plus which is around 5,000. Like if you're applying to almost 200 programs, that's how high it's going to go. So NRMP fee is around like $75 to $80, and the ERAS application is like around $5,000. The total expenses going to go for the first match cycle is around 14 to 15,000, but it can go as high above $20,000 as well. It all depends on how you're gonna take this thing. There are certain things that are gonna stay the same, like the step fee, registration fee, Q bank fee is gonna stay the same, and but there are things that you can save the money on, and there are things you have to sometimes you have to put more money on. So it all depends on your preferences.
So we will be having the question and answer sessions at the end
Yeah.
of this. So kindly stay with us. So please post all your questions in our chat box. So we will be responding at end of this session. So we are covering what is USMLE. Have discussed what are the steps in USMLE. We have discussed the resources and the structure of exam in USMLE Step 1. And we have discussed what is USMLE Step 2, what are exam structures. And we have discussed the whole expenditures in USMLE journey from the Step 1 till your residency in the USA. So next our process is visa related issues. So now we will be discussing what are the different issues related to visas and what is the best time you should apply. So I hand over Dr. Kamran, please continue. This
All
one.
right. All right. So the visa related issues. So this is one of the main issues like people are facing these days, like getting their visa either rejected or it getting delayed, not getting the appointment. So there are multiple issues. So the main one is like the long waiting time for an appointment that I already mentioned. Whenever you're going to make the decision, you need to start working on the DS-160, completing it up, have an appointment for the next year, so that you don't have to go for the travel agents that frequently. And because it's always a gamble in that way, because either you're going to get the appointment of your choice, so it's better to have the appointment of your choice the next year when you're kind of done with your exams rather than waiting for it. The other thing is the fear of rejection. So that kind of shatter your confidence whenever you go, because whenever you see there's a, because it's kind of wave. I've noticed like when there's a wave, everybody's getting the rejection from the embassy, and so people sometimes go in there with the fear that they're going to get rejection, and kind of shatter their confidence and make some discrepancies between the information they provided in DS-160 and the interview they're taking at that time. So that is a big thing, and that's a big thing. Your visa can get rejected, and sometimes we're not communicating that well with the visa officer, and it's also one of the reasons, but I don't think so it's that much of a strong reason, but having the discrepancy is definitely one of them. And sometimes they kind of put your visa into administrative processing. It takes some months, so either after some months they either gonna accept it or reject it, but it's a kind of pain. So, and also the most of the reason these days is the rejection due to the lack of strong ties with your country. So that's one of the reasons they're providing these days. So if you don't have any strong ties with your country, I don't know what's the parameter they're setting it up for, but whatever the visa-related issues are, these are some of the common one. And with I don't know how you can show to them how strong your ties with your country are, but I think the discrepancy is the main thing that can lead to that. And what you can do about it is uh, I think sometimes it's luck based. If you're having a bad day and if that person that taking your interviews is like rejecting everybody, then it's kind of a bad day. And sometimes people get to the people that always accepting your visa application, then it's kind of luck based as well. So there are multiple factors in it.
So
And then
I will want to go back in visa related issues, and I want to highlight few of the most important points. One of them is that you should know that whenever you are applying, okay, you should take the appointment a 1 year back. Okay, this is exactly type of important point. Okay, that point is take the appointment before 1 year, and then you can. This is the first step, and the next step is that when you are applying, it's you don't need to have the job. Okay, when you get the appointment, but when you go for the interview, you must have some strong home ties, like you must be doing a public job, like in hospital, not in private. Preferred is public, and if even you are not doing the in public sector job, you should do like show them that I am doing the private job. So tell them I will be back in my own country. Okay, so tell them that you are the strong candidate who can go and visit the US and then come back. Show them that if any person has like children and he or she is married, this is a strong point. If any person who is single and having just like strong ties, having some like any business, so they and he or she can show that I have a business here and there is some other related home ties that can, so you can convince them that we have the strong ties here. So on the basis of this home ties, your visa, most of the 80% of the visa rejection is due to V1, V2 visa rejection is due to a case which is called non-immigrant 214B. Okay, so I repeat, non-immigrant 214B. So what is the this rule in USA? The non-immigrant 21B rule is that visa rejection is due to you are not able to satisfy the consular because you lack home ties. Okay, you have not a strong point regarding your home ties. So it's mean automatically the visa officer will be thinking that you are not eligible for visa. So B1, B2, 214, B rejection is it's mean you have to tell I will go here. It's okay. Sometimes they do not even see your USMLE step 3 permit. Sometimes they do not see your observership. Sometimes just they ask you what's your name, what you do, and who will sponsor you. So third most important point is sponsorship. Okay. Third most important is sponsor. So show them, okay, I have a strong background. Okay, my father is businessman, whatever, like I'm doing the job. I have enough money. Show them the bank statement. So always remember sponsorship must be that person that is having a bank statement, okay, a proof of the statement. That is very important point. Third super high yield and important point is that you must have the sponsorship. Okay, because your USMLE step 3 letter, your observership is a second thing. First, you should have a strong motive. You should have a strong ties at regarding your home, and then financial stability. These are three very important points. Okay, I've described the 3 points, and then I will describe the other main issues related to visas. Okay, so in Pakistan, you know that there is visa that is embassy in the Islamabad, and also there is consular that is in Karachi. Okay, so most of the time there is a different situation. Sometimes Islamabad is very strict, and sometimes Karachi is very strict. Okay, at this time Karachi is lenient and Islamabad is strict regarding the visa issues. So before you are applying the visa, you should discuss about all the different important things like which is the best. Karachi is the best, and Islamabad is the best. And then after this, all the things you should know that what I should talk. Okay, which information I should tell, which I should hide. Usually, you should not hide the information. You should tell them the what's about your plan. Thank you so much for visa related issues. So I will request Dr. Gibran to continue the next one.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Kamran, for mentioning all of them. Yeah, that's we can make a long video itself on the visa related issue, and
Yes, we will have the
uh,
next webinar about this
yeah,
visa related issues,
yeah, because
and inshallah, Dr.
yeah,
Fateh Shahzad will be with us, and I will
yeah,
invite. I have talked to Dr. Fateh Shahzad, sir, and he will
yeah.
be with us and having the detailed discussion about visa related issues. Inshallah.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, because he's one of the person that we usually approach for when we have the issue going on. But yeah, as you already mentioned, the strong ties, how you can tell them you're having strong ties. But even after that, I've seen it going in the wrong way. Sometimes because most of my friends they got the visa rejected, even though they're doing the job. But that's kind of sometimes very you don't
Right.
know what's going to
Exactly.
happen. So
Exactly.
so so
Yeah.
it's kind of like a long video we can make on it, and we can have
Mhm.
some experts on that with us next time. So just a brief that what can be the possible causes of visa issue what you can experience during the journey.
Yes, of course.
So all right. So the next thing is the traveling to US, air tickets, and the residence in the US. So most of us, like I've seen, like most of us traveling for this. Considering me, I traveled for the first time to the U.S. Like I never been traveled outside my country before, so it's kind of very hard. Like how you gonna go? So it's always better to have some companion with you. It's always better. It's better because you have somebody you can count on. There's somebody they can count on you, and you can have your expenses been divided into two persons, and that can save you a lot of expenses, and in terms of residence as well, and a lot of things that you need to buy while you're coming here, and also well, you have another person that's doing the same thing as you, so you cannot have that much stress as well. So for traveling to US, I would say like when you start your USMLE journey, you should start finding the observerships in the big cities. So the big cities in the US are New York and New Jersey, and in New York you can go to Brooklyn, Queens, New Jersey City, and Chicago is one of them, and Dallas, Austin, and in Texas, and yeah, in Maryland, it's Baltimore, but not that much big. So the perks of going to the big city is that the public transport is there. and you don't have to spend a lot of money on the Uber, or there's uh, another public transport companies you don't need to spend a lot of money on them. So the better is to go to the big cities that has the good public transport, and you need to. So it's better when you're going to the US for the first time. You have to know which cities you're going to, in which dates. You need to map it out, and you need to see, like, if you're going to this city, what are the options there. So there are big cities in which there's apna houses that's kind of cheap on your pocket, but there are many people living there. So if you're comfortable with that, you can go there and save some money for yourself. And Airbnb, if you make the Airbnb reservation like a week, within a week, or 1 2 days earlier, it's going to cost you a lot. So better to make it a month or 2 month or 3 months earlier. In US, you have to pay before to get the service. In Pakistan, we used to get the service first, and then we used to pay. That's kind of a thing we do in our country. But in US, always is you have to pay to get the service. So you have to pay in advance. So if you get your visa accepted, then you should start working on this thing as soon as possible. That's what I'm going to advise to you guys. And while traveling to US, make your luggage as a minimum as possible, and only keep with you the necessary things, because the interview is going to be virtual. So you don't need to carry around a lot of suits. Just 1 or 2 suits will be enough. And other than that, you mostly be wearing your lab coat and a professional dress. So I would say, like, keep it as minimum as possible. And everything else, you're gonna go, like, to the Airbnb. They have the utensils, they have the stone, or everything. They kind of everything there. So you don't, and the stuff you can buy from the Walmart is not that much expensive. It's within the limits. So you can buy the stuff from here. You don't need to buy everything from Pakistan. But if you're coming here for a long period of time, just like a J1 observers, J1 research workers, or the people who are coming here for the residency, they can might buy some of the things from Pakistan, or which countries they're coming from, because the things kind of like utensils and some other stuff, and like clothes are kind of like cheaper there, and it's kind of expensive in there. So you can buy those things from there. And the other thing is to learn cooking to save you some extra bucks, because if you're gonna order it from some restaurant, or it's gonna cost you a lot, like around $300 400 for a month for no reason. But you can save a lot on that by cooking it and having some made with you, so you can alternate the cooking shifts, and that's how we used to do. And you need a carrier as well when you're coming to the US. So what I did, I just there was a offer was going on a Mint Mobile, so I just bought it with my friend before coming to US. Like, it cost me around $45 for 3 months, and otherwise you have to, like, pay like around $30 per month. So that's kind of another thing. And also make sure that you need to enjoy your time in the US as well. So for that, you need to, if you're coming for the taking step 3, try to get done with this as soon as possible. And after taking that exam, I would say, like, go out, enjoy with your buddy, and have some fun time. Go out in the culture. Don't miss the events near you. These are some of the things you're gonna remember, and go out to visit some of the landmarks in that area. So that's gonna really help you refresh your mind, and makes you help think more about writing your personal statement as well. So resident in the US, I usually use the Airbnb most of the time, but you can also use Booking.com and Expedia. And for flights, it depends. You're carrying the entire luggage. I use the Southwest airline because it gives you the comfort of carrying the luggage with you, like 2 bags. Because other airlines, they kind of charge you more if you're carrying your luggage with you, like 2 bags. You have to pay like $80 to $90, sometimes $100 extra just for the luggage. Southwest Airlines, I found the best in that term, that it usually includes the charges in it, and still find you it's still very cheap. So, and as I already mentioned, make sure that some friend is coming with you. It's always my recommendation to people that never try fly alone. Always find some friend if you can try to, because there's always someone coming in to the US at the same time. You just need to connect with them and stay with them, and it's gonna save you a lot of money, a lot of stress as well, because it's very hard to live alone in US. So yeah, a lot of things are gonna go away if you have some companion with you in this journey. So while the USMLE Step 3 exam, it's a 2-day exam. So you can schedule it from your country as well before coming to US. And some of the people do apply their visa on the basis of step 3 and used to get them accepted, but these days I don't think so. They're accepting as many visas on the basis of step 3. So I get my B1 B2 visa on the basis of step 3 as an emergency appointment that got accepted, and I got here and I took my exam here step 3. So I would say, like, whenever you're coming to US, when you're planning to come to US, try to get done with this exam as soon as possible. So it's mostly your baseline knowledge. It's not that much of a big deal. The new thing in it is only the CCS cases and a lot of biostats and ethics. These are the few things. For the day one is most likely more of a step one exam, and the day two, it can clear CCS cases, almost 13 of them out of 13. The 8 are long cases of 20 minutes, and the 5 or 6 uh, uh, are the short cases of 10 minutes each. So you can go to the ccscases.com. That's where I got my CCS cases done, and you can nail them all. So that's the only new thing. And so the perks of step three is if you're going to take the step three earlier before applying to the match, it will include in your USMLE transcript. So you can have H1. You can be a candidate for the H1 program, and because that's one of the requirement of H1 program is to you've been done with step three, and some of the program do consider you taking step three before giving you an interview appointment. So, and the other thing is, you don't need to worry about if you get matched, then you don't need to worry about taking USMLE step three. Because if you get matched and you still need to take your step three, then it will be really hard for you to, because you have to take it before starting your third, after 18 months into your residency, you need to take it. And it's really hard to manage step three in that residency era, because it's really hard in the first year. You don't even get that much of a time, so it will be hard for you. So it is better to take it as early as possible. So impact the number, as I already mentioned, it all sometimes impact your number of interviews. Some people get more interviews if they get step three done, while the other people, they got kind of same interviews if they're done with the step three or not. So it's kind of in the midway between. Some people think that if you're not if you don't have a good score in step 2 CK, then you can improve on the step 3 exam. You can get better score, and you can tell them in your CV, you can mention it that you improved on it, and that can be one of the plus mark as well. But for me, it's as I've seen in the residency, you just need to pass it. There's no big deal if you're gonna like have very high scores in it or very low scores in it. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is you're done with it, and you don't need to take another step exam, and you don't need to go to another prometric. So that's good. So the next thing is US clinical experience and observership. So as I already mentioned, we need to find observerships in the big cities, and you need to go into the Google Maps, and sometime go to the Google. You can search what are the clinics in that area, try to read them out by the emailing them. So email is always a preferred way to communicate in here in the United States. You cannot just call them and let them know, like, I'm coming here, you need to take me. No, you need to email them. And most of the time, you're not going to get the response from them because they're busy, and that's very kind of embarrassing and kind of very tiring as well, because most of, like, out of 200, 300 emails you're going to send, you're going to get a response from 2 or 3 or maybe at most 10 of them. So most of them, they're not going to adjust you, but that's how you're going to find it. So you can, like, if you're going to start your journey, you need to work on that thing as well. That should go in hand with that thing. So and on B1, B2 visa, you cannot do the hands-on or externship, but some program, some clinic do let you do the externship is there, but you cannot mention it anywhere about it. So and also hospital base is the one you should be looking for. First of all, go to the programs that do participate in the residency program in the residency. So go to their website, search them out, uh, which of the department they're along the observerships in, should fill out the requirement and send them out. Most of them usually reject, and it's kind of really sad at that point, like they kind of reject, but that's how the case is. But some of them going to accept you as well, so you should keep on sending the emails, and if you get them like in year advance, because if you're going to send them 2 or 3 months earlier before coming to US, the most likely you're going to get the rejection. But if you're telling them a year before, it's a very positive chance you're going to get a positive response from them. So email, I already told, be a professional way to conduct, and be on time when you're going to start the observership. It's always to be on time and try to answer as many questions for the attending as possible. They're going to give you a positive rank in their site, and they're going to write a very good LOR for you. And don't be shy to remind them of the LORs. Most of them are really busy in their routine, either clinic or hospital. They're really busy in their routine, and you need to remind them, because it takes usually 5 business days after they upload. Because before putting an LOR request from your side to that person on AAMC, There's an ERAS application stuff. So where you go ERAS, you have to make an account at ERAS, and then there is AMC account where you can request an LOR to a physician. That's on AMC. So after receiving that request, that person uploads that LOR, and it takes 5 business days to get that LOR uploaded on your CV that you can then assign to the different programs when you're applying for the programs. So always be cognizant of the time frame, and try to reach out to them and reminding them the LOR as soon as possible. And also try to observe the US healthcare system and writing it down your CV as well. Like, what are the things that kind of make it different from the healthcare system you're living in right now? So try to work on it, try to observe it more and more, and try to learn from it as well. Don't be shy to ask a question. They don't mind it here asking, and no question is a silly question. You just need to ask it, and that's how it will go here. There's still a lot of points, but it's just a brief, so I'm keeping it very brief as well at the moment. So the ERAS application, as I already mentioned, you have to create an account AMC. Then you can assess the ERAS application for that year's match. So you have to create an account AMC. Then there's the ERAS, my ERAS, where you can have your CV. So Residency Explorer is one of the other tools that you can find to where you can filter out the program which are IMG friendly, which are not IMG friendly, and you can put your USMLE scores in it. You can also put your research, your publications in it, and you can filter out the program that kind of most match you. So that's one of the place you will working on before applying for the match, and it needs a lot of work. Some people have their own list made up. You can deploy that, but I would always say try to explore it yourself so that you can have better idea which program is what, and so that when you gonna get the invitation from them, you'll be more knowledgeable about their program. And it's my choices. I submitted my application almost 15 minutes before the deadline. I just don't want to be people don't want people to be doing that foolish thing that I did. So so it's my advice, like, to all of you, like, submit almost 2 weeks or 10 days before the deadline, so that you don't need to worry about it. All the things are being done, and that's gonna help you in getting over the stress. Because whenever you're gonna get the interview, you should not be you should start whenever you're done with submitting your application, you should start working uh, on your interviews, and you're taking it the virtually, because most of the time these are virtual interviews. And the CV components that's on ERAS, it includes your headshot that you mostly see in the Twitter or any other platform, and people put that whenever they're applying for the match. And the personal statement, that's the kind of main thing. It has many components in it, like why you went to the medical school, what really inspired you to be a doctor, and why you choose whatever specialty you're going in, why you choose that, then why you're applying to that specific program, and there's a question why you should be the preferable candidate for that, and the LOR. So there's a maximum 4 LOR you can assign to a program, and it's your choice whichever LOR you're going to assign them. If you're applying in multiple specialties, like people applying family medicine, telemedicine, neurology at the same time, so they have multiple LORs, then they can assign the family medicine LOR to the family medicine program, and that way. So, and the geographical and setting preference these days, last year they have started another thing, like geographical and setting preference, where you can choose the area of the research. Where sorry where, where is your geographical and setting preference is really is. So it can be Atlantic, Eastern Shore. Most of this area are the one that's IMG friendly. So you can choose that area. You can go to the map. You can figure that out. But most of the time it's near the Eastern Shore, near the Atlantic area. That's mostly IMG friendly, and you can apply to that programs. The medical license, like if you have another country medical license, you can mention in your CV as well, and you can put it there. Your medical education, which med school, and your med school awards, membership in honorary or professional societies. That's mostly for the graduates in for the US medical graduates, because they have kind of memberships in there, like if they're going for gastroenterology, so they have American College of Gastroenterology, American Society of Gastroenterology. They have membership in that, American College of Cardiology, ACC, and they have sometimes some people have memberships in Critical Care Society as well. So that depends on mostly the American graduates. They have memberships in different societies here, so they mentioned that thing as well. And especially to the programs that they had that have fellowships in it as well. So also you can mention your postgraduate training in your country if you're done with it already. So, and experiences also, there's a one impactful experience that you can mention in your CV that kind of change your course of actions, that change your life, that really impacted your life in a real way. And you can mention publications, your languages, and that's how. And ERS application allows you, if you're applying for internal medicine, they let you apply signaling for 7 programs. that's gonna get signal. And my advice is to write a personalized personal statement for the 7 programs you're gonna signal, and do the most research on that programs that are IMG friendly. And so this is how ERA CV is like component wise, and you can get more detail if we're going to make a more video, because this is a very wide topic. It's just a brief on it. And the match fee has 3 more subdivision. There's a NRMP fee. That's around $75 to $80. USMLE transcript fee, or almost $80. That includes your USMLE transcript of step 1, 2, and 3 if you're done with the 3. And match application fee, that depends on the number of programs you're applying to. So up to 10 programs, you can access it from the ECFMG or ERAS website as well. So up to 10 programs is $99 each program. From 11 to 20 programs, like $19 each, and 21, 30 programs, $23 each. And about 31 or more program is $27 each. So I applied around 130 programs, so I have to pay around 34 to $3,300, 33 to $2,400. And that's what my count was. But you can always apply to more and have more to pay. It all depends on your personal preference. But I would say, like, work on the Residency Explorer so that you can apply to a limited number of programs with the more positive results. So interviews, you should schedule the interviews ASAP, because they have limited spots sometimes for the interview, and the slots usually filling up too quickly. So whenever you get the interview, try to go to the my ERAS and schedule it as soon as possible, and work on your communication skills, because most of these days the interviews are virtual, and I think it's going to get virtual for the next few years. And that's one of the way we're getting less interview as compared to AMGs, because AMGs, they used to previously travel for taking the interviews, so they used to cancel the interviews. They usually used to take the interviews only in their area. So US is like really big. Like, there are 3 different time zones here. You can have an idea from that. So we're coming aboard. So we're coming like 5,000 miles away from our country to US. So for us, it's kind of same everywhere. So they have like the same system going on in every hospital. The same milestone you have to cover. It's kind of same everywhere. So there's a minor differences in every program, but it's kind of same for you. So there's no kind of regional preference for us in that matter, unless your family lives here and you have a little bit of region preference. But in that scenario as well, I don't think so we have that much of a regional preference as compared to AMGs. So that's why we got a little number of interviews, because the AMGs are getting now all the virtual interviews selected and they're taking it, and we're not getting that much. And but I always say, you always need a 1 interview to get match. I myself got 3 interviews, and I got match. And I think it all depends on the luck as well. There are multiple factors in it. So what I would suggest is have a good virtual setup, like a good. You should have a good webcam, a good microphone that you can buy by coming to the US from the marketplace or Amazon, and you can have a good lighting setup as well, and that can help you a lot with broadcasting all of your. And the internet, for the internet, I would say a good upload speed, because the download speed is the what you're getting on your computer, but the what other people are getting, or the program is getting on their software, is your upload speed. So your upload speed should be better. I would suggest 30 Mbps is the minimum you can get. So anything better than that is always preferable. And the interviews usually so for the interviews, usually you need to look in the camera, try to put the things in the top of your mind, rather than putting a sticky notes all around on the desktop. And try to be using your brain, try to be yourself at the time, try to be honest at that moment, and try to be natural. You don't need to fake it, but sometimes you kind of do it, but most of the time you just can be honest, and try to answer the question as honestly as possible. I didn't have the research experience in my CV, but I did tell them like I didn't have it, and I didn't put it there. So I just answered them honestly about it. And the other thing is, uh, there are multiple other things that you can do for the interview that can help you out. The thing is, preparing with some of your buddies, having some virtual interviews, mock interviews with your guys, and some other people who are taking the interview already, like with other residents, and with other people who are taking interviews from some programs. They sometimes offer themselves for taking interviews for your mock interview. So try to take as many as possible, so that you cannot be, you should be ready when it's the real day. And do your best and wait for the match day after that. That I would suggest. So yeah, and. So transition to residency, I think that's a very big topic.
And sometime they will ask you, okay, where you will live, okay, in USA, when you will go and where you will live. So in this case, you should tell them I will live here, and you should tell them the address. So make sure you have the appointment on booking.com or on the other websites, and you can tell them, yeah, I have a booking here, and then I can go and I can live in at this address, at this area. So it is a good point if you go to booking.com and book your appointment, or you can go to Expedia, you can go to the Airbnb and other websites. But booking.com is beneficial because you can get the refund from here. So it is easy. So for the whole discussion and the visa related issues, in next we will be having a webinar with our senior respected residents and from the USA who are very much interested and very much expert in visa related issues. They have been managing the visas issues of the thousands of the students. So we will invite to that personalities in our webinar. In the next webinar, we will discuss, and stay with us. Follow our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook page so that you can get all the information here. Thank you so much. I invite Dr. Gibran to continue the session. Thank you. Okay, so now we are having the question and answer session. So I will read the question and now we will answer one by one. Okay, so let me open the questions. So let me open the. Okay, so first question is define the schedule of your course. Actually, we are having the USMLE lecture at this time. So I have been delivering the USMLE lectures, which is on Zoom meetings. So it is free. You can join our session on the Zoom meetings, okay, at our Zoom meeting or YouTube live. So it is no fee for that session. So you can join at any time. We will be covering USMLE Step 1 series in the 4 months. We have completed the cardiovascular series. And we are doing at this time the endocrine series from the USMLE steps. Step 1, the high yield first aid book. Okay, I teach from my edited first aid book. I have collected all the very famous and important question banks and all the different resources. So I teach in a different way, which is very important. So you don't need to do all the other resources. It's just enough. So you can join us. It's free from 8 p.m. to 9:30 daily on Zoom meetings or Google Meet on or either on the live on YouTube. So to get the link, you can follow our Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp channel. So you can get the daily link here. So you can join free. And this is question. This question was from the Dr. Asma side. And next we will be discussing about Dr. Ahmad Sameed. So nice of you. Thank you, Dr. Ahmad, for your appreciation. Dr. Gibran is for you. Ahmad Said is saying, Jibs, so nice of you. So I think you should accept this nice compliment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ziaullah, minimum preparation for USMLE Step 1. Okay, so minimum, actually this is relative question. I think this is relative. I will invite Dr. Gibran to answer this question.
All right, so okay, so for the utility preparation, I think it depends on person to person. So I've seen where I came from, some people are really good in this thing, so they require very minimum time. Like I've seen people doing it within a year, all their steps. One of my friend, Dr. Umar, I think he did all of his steps within a year of 1 year, all 3 of them, 1, 2, and 3. And where the other hand, me, it almost took me almost the same time, but me starting a year earlier. So it all depends from person to person. Some people go with a different pace, some people go with a faster pace, some people have different things they need to work on. Other people don't have that much things to work on, so their path is kind of straight. So it all depends from person to person. But what I would suggest is that while you're going for the exam, you should make sure that you have a good grasp of the topics you're going to be you've been questioned in the exam, and that's a really main thing. And also there are multiple factors going on in your social and mental health is also one of the factors that play some role in it. So what I would suggest is look whatever suits you the best, and don't compare yourself to the other people. And you can be yourself. Everybody is different. You need to understand that. And
okay, thank you. Okay, so our next question from Waika Shabir, do you recommend doing the clinical electives? So our next question is, do you recommend doing the clinical electives from Dr. Faika Shabir? So can you please answer, Dr. Gibran?
all right.
So the question is, do you recommend doing clinical electives versus observership or USC or externship? So can you please elaborate what is
All right. So
observership, what is elective, or what is externship? So please elaborate these points and what is your recommendation?
all right. So electives and observerships. So observerships are kind of hands-off experience. You cannot do much. You only need to observe. Electives is one like you can do some hand-on, and you can do some. And electives is kind of there are multiple criteria for you to get accepted. First thing is you should be undergraduate. You should not be done with the graduation. You can only do it as a medical student. And some people do it like just after taking the final exam, they go for the electives as well if they find one, because you need to go outside your country, you need to be absent, have absent for 2 to 3 months. So electives always preferable if you get them. So if you don't get them, then anything is good for you. So electives for me is always preferable, but I didn't get the chance to get them because I didn't know about them. But by the time I should have applied for them, the time has already been gone. So, and also for you to get the electives, you should have some steps done. Like you should have a step 1 done, OET done. And these days, like people used to take the step 2 in the 4th year of MBBS. So they sometimes have a better chance to get electives. So electives are always preferable, and there are different ways to approach it. I don't know because I didn't do the electives. I'm not a good guy to ask about that. But if you go for electives versus observership, electives always preferable.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for the detailed answer of this question. So my next question from the Dr. Uzair Kabul, how to use the U word properly, a lot of information. So Dr. Uzair is saying how to use the U word properly. What are the techniques? What do you recommend?
So yeah, using the U word properly is a very big thing. So I would say first you need to make sure like what question you're doing, what are the things you're making wrong. You need to evaluate your thought process, like what in the thought process of you answering that question went wrong that lead to the wrong answer. So you need to evaluate that, like need to think back, to take some few steps back and think like what can be done to prevent that wrong thought process into wrong channelization. I was kind of average in U World. I've never been that much of a good in U World. My friends used to be really sharp in it, and they were very good thought process. But I sometimes take usually a little extra time. And but the proper way to do it is some people do it before studying. Before for step 2, you don't need to study anything. You just need to go to the U World and do it. But for step 1, what I used to do, if I'm doing a system or anything, I used to study that topic in advance. Then I used to do the U World. So I found it that I should have changed that approach of mine. I should first do the UR and then go for the system, so that I can learn more. If I'm doing mistake, don't be afraid of commit a mistake, and don't be afraid of the percentage of the UR question you're getting right, because that put an unnecessary stress on you. Because that's not gonna because you can have a 50 or 60% of UR questions in the first pass, and you can have a score of 260 rather than you having a score of 70 to 80%, and you're gonna have a score of 240 to 30. So it really doesn't depend on that thing. The thing is how good you have done the UR, and you should mark the question that are really tricky, and mark the question that you should work on the thought process. And after you're done with the first pass of the U word, after you've done with the first pass, after especially after the step 1 with the first stage and you're done with that, you should go back to the wrongs. Always make sure you're done with the wrongs and the one that are tricky question, and see if your thought process is going in the wrong direction again. What are the blocks you can apply to grasp that knowledge more? Go into that detail on that topic and more. You need to study because there's it's certain topics that really messes you up. So if you're getting things wrong in that topic again and again, then you need to revisit that topic, and you need to go to PubMed. You can use the PubMed. You can read different articles. You can go to UpToDate, use Board and Beyond, and multiple different whatever sources you're going to get. Like if you're having difficulty in understanding the physiology of certain topics, you can always go back and read them in detail so that you don't get them wrong.
Thank you, Dr. Gibran, for the detailed explanation about how can we use our resources, basically. And next question is GKM sites with stethoscope. Assalamu alaikum. Wa alaikum assalam. Thank you. And next is from the Dr. Mehtab. What's the best score for getting pediatric residency? So asking about actually the best score for pediatric residency. So what will be the answer of this question, Dr. Gibran?
So
I think, yes, you can answer it. I will add it at the end.
all right. So for my standpoint of view, I don't think so any score is the best score. This is kind of misconception people have created. You can go to the ECMG website. There's a graph there. You can see like what's the average score people getting into pediatrics. It's around 230 to 240. It's always been like that. And for me, it depends on your devotion to that field. You can have 230s, you can have 240s, and you can go into the surgery. You can have 240s, and you can go to anything. So it all depends what you want to be, rather than what your scores really are. Other than like if your scores are really bad, like they went almost near the borderline, specifically in step 2 CK. That's kind of main step. But 230s, 240s, that's kind of fine for even 220s, they're kind of fine, because it depends. Like if you've done enough research on that topic, if you've done enough observerships on your topic on that observership in pediatrics, you have a good exposure of US healthcare system regarding that field of your choice, and even minimum number of interviews can get you into that specialty, rather than you having a lot of scores and not having the exposure, that much exposure of that field. that will lead even you're going to have a lot of interviews, but you not be having that much easy going on that perspective, because you're not that much interested in it. You just got big scores, you just got it superficially done. If you're not that much deeply interested into that field, it will always be hard for you. So for me, uh, it all depends on your interest, and the minimum scores can get you into the specialty of your interest for sure.
Thank you, Dr. Gibran, for your detailed answer. So next question is from the Dr. Numan Aslam. From Numan Aslam is asking, is there any age restriction for the residency? Do they select the candidates who have done MBBS in more than 5 years back? So the question of Dr. Numan Aslam is actually is that, is the year of graduation matters the most, and what is the ideal year of graduations, and what will be the best for you, and what will be the conditions if any student is having more than 5 years of graduation. So all the questions will be covered in these sections. Please continue the answer, Dr. Gibran.
So year of graduation is a big thing for sure. It is a big thing as long as you're explaining the gaps in your like most of the people start late, like they're doing their post graduation, so they have something to fill that gap in. So for them, that's not a big deal. They would prefer a person that have some experience of that field previously in their country, like doing 2 3 years. They would prefer that. They would love that, especially the new programs. Uh, but year of graduation more than 5 years, it got tricky at some point. Like they would be preferring some people that coming right after their med school, because they have not that much exposure of the healthcare system. So the thought process behind it is, if you don't have that much exposure of your healthcare system in your country, because the US healthcare system is entirely different from that. So you don't need to kind of unlearn the things and learn the new stuff. That's the thought process behind it. So that's what they want. Like they want people that are fresh out of their med school, that doesn't have that much of a clinical experience in their country, but more of a clinical experience in US, and they don't have to unlearn the stuff. So that's kind of the thought process that goes behind that. But if you ask me, year of graduation up to 5 years, I would say it's okay, because I've seen even up to 10 years. I've seen that many times, people getting matched. But that depends on the links as well. Some people who are older graduate, they have more links, they have more friends into the residency, more people to watch them for. People just getting out of the residency, just getting out of the med school, they don't have that much of connection. So it kind of again very complex. Like people like I'm getting out of med school, getting few interviews. Some people who's already old graduate, he has a lot of friends in the US of the same batch, they can vouch for him, and he can have more interviews than me. So it all depends. But I think for me, the cap for year of graduation is kind of 5. Within the 5 years is the best one. So it varies from people to people, but I've seen people even with the cap of 10-year graduation, even with 12-year graduation, getting back into the residency. So yeah, I hope it answers the question.
Thank you so much for the detailed answer, Dr. Gibran. So our next questions, we will be discussing our next question now. Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Noman. Hope you have received your answer. And next question is from Dr. Mujashir Khan. How did you calculate the 5,000 USD ERAS fee?
So there, I already mentioned there are 3 things in it. There are 3 things in it. So one is the USMLE transcript that you have to pay like $80 to $85. I'm not exactly right now. When I paid it was $80 in when I applied in 2022 for the match of 2023. So it was $80 for the USMLE transcript. The next thing is the NRMP fee that you have to pay, like because you are playing the match or NRMP. So you have to pay like $75 to $80 to that. Like it's usually $160, and then it comes to number of programs you're applying to. So number of programs you're applying to, it depends. I give you the calculation. Like for 10 programs, 1 to 10 is $99 each, and it's $18 each. For 11 to 20 to 20 to 29 is like $23 each, and after 30 programs, it's $27 each. Doesn't matter how many programs you're going to apply to. So it all depends number of programs you're applying to. If you're applying to almost 400 programs, it's going to be $5,000 combining that. And if you're applying to, just like I applied for like 130 programs, it was $32 to $3,300. So it all depends number of programs you're applying to.
Okay,
and it is mentioned on the ERAS website.
Exactly. So it's relative. Actually, it's relative. It's depend upon how much. Actually, the key point is either you are applying for 100 program or 120 program. The average students who are applying, they apply most likely 120, 150, 140 like this. Okay. So you can also apply in a wide range like 150, or you can also apply just in 50, 60 or 70 program. So it depends upon you. Okay. Thank you so much. Okay. So our next question is from Free Fire Lover. Assalamu alaikum, sir. Are the elective necessary? So also elaborate these questions, Dr. Gibran.
So I don't think so it's necessary at all. Electives just what kind of experience. So they're kind of hands-on experience, which comes in terms of research and doing electives, and hands-off in terms of observership and shadowing. So it's not necessary at all. You can have the observership, even the observership done in the US, in your home country, and get the allowed from your country and apply for the match. So it's not kind of necessary at all. But what way more is your clinical experience in US. So whatever the opportunity you're going to get, electives, I already said, is preferable if you can get it. But if you don't get it, then whatever you're getting is enough. And I already mentioned hospital-based is the one you should be going for, because it has better US healthcare system exposure than doing it in the clinics. So, but it also depends. If you're going for the primary care or family medicine, then going for the clinic one is better for you. I hope that
Okay,
answers.
thank you so much. And our next question is, Dr. Muhammad Azan. Secondly, what should be your advice for the student of second year? Mean, should they have a specific study strategy for those who are going to do it in third year?
So yeah, for people who want to do it in third year, they should. I think they should start working on the first aid at the time, because the thing that you are studying in second year is like embryology, and you're also studying pathology, not pathology or pathophysiology, but your anatomy, physiology, and these topics you should at least cover it from the first aid, and at least do the, even if you can sometimes get the offline, you will try to do it, although that's kind of so if you can, but it all, if you want to take in step three, step one in third year, you should make sure you have the step one you were by the end of the by the end of second year of MBBS, and start working on it. The more question you do it, the better it is for you. And as it is pass fail, so you only need 196 3-digit score to get it passed, and I think you can pass it as long as you're committed to it. So it depends on your commitment as well. So you have to plan it. It's very feasible these days. People are doing it now and then in their third year of MBBS step 3. So I always advise, it's always advisable, but they have to kind of limit themselves, because second year itself is one of the most hard, I would say, most tough year of my med school. I would say the most tough year of my med school was second year. But you have to be really committed if you're going to start in second year. But I've seen people these days doing it very now and then, so you can do it. You just need to start earlier than other people. That's it. Nothing
Okay,
special.
thank you. Okay, thank you so much. So our next question is from the Dr. Ali Javed. Kindly answer about study resources for students in abroad. The student is asking, what will be study resources if not living in Pakistan? Actually, study resources are the same if you are living in Pakistan or outside. So Dr. Gibran will elaborate on study resources.
I think study resources kind of same. First aid is kind of same. You can get it like everywhere. For step one, you need the first aid for sure. UWord is kind of same, and the other thing is Pathoma. You can get it like on the website. There's certain website you can get that from them as well. Pathoma is a PDF, or if you get the hard copy, you can get it from anywhere in your country as well. You can order it from Amazon as well. And the other thing is Sketchy. You can either buy a subscription, or you can have it lent from one of your friends if they are using Sketchy as well. So you can do it in combination with some of your friends as well. So boards and beyond the same way. I think most of the resources you can have them. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter where you are, because it's the same thing. Anywhere in the world, it's the same resources, and you can get them, and they are preferable. Yeah.
Okay, so I want to highlight a few of the points about the resources. Actually, many of students are considering that this is a very difficult, and this is now after the pass fail entry, because of this was a very great initiative. You don't need to add that type of complex preparation for USMLE Step 1, but still USMLE Step 2 a little bit difficult as compared to USMLE Step 1. USMLE Step 1 is now easy as compared to previous system, scoring system. So we are having a daily sessions on free Zoom meeting sessions or on live on YouTube. You can enjoy it. So in the first aid, I have my edited first aid. I have added my collections of different high yield resources from different question banks and from the up to date and from different. So I have added all these information in my edited first aid book, and from adding the extra white pages after this book. So I teach from the high yield resources. So after my lecture, you don't need to go to discuss or to do the other things. So it is a one thing in a one lecture. You will cover all the theory of the topics. You will cover all the explanation. You will cover all the questions that is coming, and we will also be covering what are the strategies and what are the different techniques and what are differential diagnosis. So it is a complete lecture. So you can enjoy it on live sessions. It is free. So WhatsApp us, so we can share the link here. And then there are students who are asking about, is there other resources in abroad? So in Pakistan, in the live, it is same. There is no difference. The first aid is like a Bible for the USMLE journey. You can start with this. Okay, the first book for your USMLE journey is the first aid book. Okay, thank you so much. Now our next question is from our next question is Dr. RK. So no, our next question is Dr. SM Jamshed. Dr. SM Jamshed is saying, I want to know about alternative pathway of residency, in which specialties it is applicable. So Dr. Gibran, the question is, I want to know about alternative pathway of residency and in which specialties it is applicable. So it is a broad, actually the answer of this is relative. I think it is out of this domain, but I will highlight few of the concepts, and then I will also be discussed with Dr. Gibran. Okay, the question is alternative pathway of residency. In US system, there is a system that is called ECFMG certification. Now it is called My Intel. Okay, so any resident who is going and do and any like person who is going for residency or specialty, he must have a certification that is previously called ECFMG certification. Okay, and for that certification, we need the USMLE steps to enter in the residency. Okay, and so in the US system, if you have to go for your own, like in super specialty or specialty, you have to be an IMG, which is called International Medical Graduate. Okay, and after that, you can enter in the US healthcare system. If you are US resident, you don't need to do these other stuff which are outside of the USMLE steps. Okay, there are few of the changes we will not be discussing here, but all the students who are either in US or in out of the US, they are going to do to certify for the next specialty. And alternative pathway will be depending upon your specialty and your graduation, your fellowship. Let's suppose if you have Australian fellowship, if you have UK's fellowship, if you have Pakistan fellowship. So there are a few of these pathways that can give you a like 1 year course of fellowship in super specialties in USA. Okay, but they are not offering you without the USMLE like a specific one residency, like you are starting the internal medicine residency. I think this is my point of view. I will request Dr. Gibran to elaborate this question, answer of this question.
I think you already kind of summed up all of the things very good. So it's a very vast domain. For sure, it's a vast domain. I think I was going up with you last year before starting my residency that what are the options we can get into the US healthcare system. So yeah, I think you know it way better than me, and you can explain it
Yes,
better.
there are other pathways, but this is very difficult step.
Yeah, very
step.
difficult. Yeah.
So
I
there
think
are
the only one is
pathways, but it is a new domain, and I don't want to discuss here because majority of the students want to go for USMLE pathway. But if you are a resident already in UK, already in Australia, if like in other countries, so there are some exemptions and there are some things that you can do. But from Pakistan, after your FCPS, after you are like assistant professors, associate professors, and other of the senior registrars are applying for US super specialty programs. Like many of students in aesthetic, many of the professors in aesthetics are doing some hair transplant diplomas. So diploma world is very important, can be happen from the USA. But there are if you are wanting residency without doing the USMLE steps, I think if I can answer this is like impossible. You cannot have this. If it is existence of this process, so you mean you are bypassing the My Intel, you are bypassing the ECFMG. So I don't think, according to my knowledge, this will be the right option. If there is other way, if you got the visa permit, a work permit, okay, because many of the US states are telling you, are sponsoring your visa. Okay, so you must be have, but this is other type of, you cannot start the residency. Okay, you can have the job here. Okay, job and the work permit is a different thing, but you want to go like in specialty program or residency program, that is a different thing. Okay, I think it is now clarified. Okay, our next question from, okay, next question is from Dr. Free Fire Lover. The answer, thank you so much, sir. So it's thank you, Dr. Gibran. Thank you came for you from the Free Fire Lover. So next is question from Dr. Ali Javed. Study resources mean if a student like me studying in Kyrgyzstan and have to start from scratch. Okay, I will answer and then I will invite Dr. Gibran now. So we have discussed this question and already, but I will elaborate on this. Study resources. If you are from the Kyrgyzstan, if you are sitting in Pakistan, if you are sitting in USA, UK, Australia, or any other country, start from first aid book. It is a Bible of USMLE journey. Understand? but it is very difficult to understand the first aid book. It is very dry. uh, First aid book, when one line is written, it is you can say that there is maximum of 20 question in one line. So when you are reading, okay, make some pictures. Okay, without any background knowledge you cannot memorize the first aid. Okay, this will be a feeling that I know this topic, but when you will do the question, you will understand, oh, this is a new word in this. Okay, so first aid combined with a high yield Q banks. Q banks is telling you the one topic written in the first aid in an elaborative form. Okay, so like there are many resources like UWorld, like Emboss, like USMLE RX, and other resources. So you do the question bank, and in these question bank there is elaboration of the concept. Let's suppose the pericarditis is given in your first aid book. You read in just 4 or 5 lines written in the first aid book, but these are the 5 lines. Is very important. So there will more than 10 or 15 question in question bank that coming from this. So understand the first aid first, and then add Q banks or high yield lectures resources. Okay, if you are very interested in lectures, if you some of the students have a more listening power, they can listen the lecture and then understand it. So we can join our sessions. Just you need to listen our lectures. We are covering all of the question banks and the resources and all the theory exams. Okay, so it is super easy. You can join it. So either you are from Kyrgyzstan, it's okay. You can join it. It's super easy. Start from the first date. Okay, so join our all the social media so that we having the webinars and seminars and the tips about USML exams, and we will be discussing more and more. Thank you. Next question from the Dr. RK. RK is asking, should we do the resources like BNB videos first and shift to the U world right away? So what will be your answer, Dr. Gibran?
So for the BNB videos, I mostly did the Kaplan because BNB just came late, and I think it's great, but it will give you false positive results because BNB video for me, that's not that much extensive at all. That not give you the core concept. That will only give you the information that will keep your answers right in the U world. But when the situation STEM gonna come change in the actual exam, you might gonna have some difficulties there. So BNB is good and bad in the same sense. It's gonna give you a good grasp of the first aid and the U world. You're gonna perform better in both of them. But at the same time, it's gonna give you some fast because it's not that much detail. What I was used to do, I used to go in detail the topics. So for that, you need to go into big books that I would advise, because you need to do it. If you do it good, you only need to do it once if you have enough grasp of the concept. But BNB is a very volatile lecture itself, but it will give you false positive results in the first aid. People use it, still use it. It's a very better, one of the better tool if you want to take your exam within few days. And it helps with the exam as well to some extent. But for my preference, I don't like that much BNB, but people do like it and people do get benefit from it. So it's a personal preference.
Okay, thank you. Actually the keyword is that it's personal preference. Okay, there is nothing best and nothing wrong. It's relative. Okay, every person is different. Regarding if I will talk myself, I like the listening. Okay, so there are other people who love the reading. Okay, so one student is listener, one student is reader, and one student is mixer. So remember, understand yourself first. You are a reader or you are a listener. If you are a listener, go for the lectures. Okay, and you will find enough of amples of medical knowledge here on the YouTube, on the BNB and BOS and the USMLE RX and other stuff. Okay, it's best choose that is best for you. Okay, understand your niche. You are a listener, you are a reader, you are a mixer, and then you will start the lecture. Okay, and the Dr. Gibran has discussed the most important point, that is extensive. When you are starting from scratch, you need extensive knowledge, because many of the students who lack basic skills, basic knowledge, okay, mean when many students, let's go starting from the third year medical preparation, from the fourth year, fifth year, they have some like quick fresh knowledge and they can understand, and it's okay. But many of students who have graduated freshly or just 1 or 2 year graduation gap, so they lack the basics, because basics is a one thing. This is very problematic for that graduates who are old graduates who have just like passed the MBBS and then did internship or 12-month house job, and then they have a gap of 1 year. So they will be finding very difficulty for the basics. They of course need lectures, okay, to making a basic understandings. One student who is just entered in third year medical school, and then that student can have a high yield basis, a high yield quick lectures, because his knowledge is fresh. But of course, if he thinks or she thinks that I can listen the lectures, then he or she should go. Okay, so it's depending upon you. The keyword or key summary is that it's relativity. It's according to you. Understand yourself and make all or use all the resources according to your niche. Thank you so much. And our next question is from our Talha Daud. Talha Daud is asking, I am a first year student. Is there anything I need to know in first year of better CV of USMLE? Congratulations. First of all, this is a one salute for you. And Dr. Gibran, our first year student, has came up here. And I have been receiving many messages because recently in King Edward Medical University, there are many new students came up in hostel and in nearby areas and texting me. I have been receiving daily messages, sir. I have just started my first year in KMU and Alam Iqbal and other colleges. So tell me, please guide me about USMLE. So this is answer for all these students. Okay. So first of all, I appreciate that. Okay. Many of your colleagues, many of your senior will say, "Oh, कुछ नहीं करना यार, chill करो, तुम तो अभी first year में आए हो." Okay, these will be the words. But I appreciate all of the students who have just written this message and all are asking about that. They are very passionate. This passion drives you. Okay, this passion is very important in USMLE journey. Money is a separate thing and passion is a second thing. Your passion will drive you from the first year till your match, till your residency. So keep up your and more power to you. And for your answer, so my answer will be, first of all, in 2 years, understand yourself, understand the system, understand what is like stages, sub stages, what is anatomy, what is biochemistry, what is high yield. In first 2 year, understand the word what is high yield. So my advice to all the first year student is that understand the first task is understand the word what is high yield, and in these 2 years explore yourself. Okay, what I can do, what I can produce, what is creativity in me. Okay, and what I produce better, and what is the surrounding, what is this medical life. Okay, is this fine, USMLE is fine for me. What is the lab? You should understand what is MRCP, you should understand what is FCPS, you should understand what is MDS, MDMS, or different Pakistani exams. So in 2 years you just make up your mind, okay, which is best for you. Explore, go to hospital, and talk to the USMLE like students, talk to the lab students, talk to the FCPS, MDMS who are resident in Pakistan. Explore the things, explore the environment. Okay, and get the idea of financial like expenditures, and get the idea of the like after your graduation what will be the problems, because you are not familiar with these problems. When you will be in final year or in after your graduation, you will find these problems and you will be stunned. Oh, it's like this, it's like this. So I request all of the first year and second year student, first of all, explore the journey, explore yourself. Tell your mother, your father, your sister, your brother, your family, okay, is this possible? I am doing this journey, this is very like very like very difficult for, either it will be difficult or easy. Explore yourself, your family conditions, and then make up your mind. And after and you are passing this steps, yeah, you have like a dedication, and then you have the passion, and you have the family acceptance, and then you go to the next step. Okay, next step is start the high yield way. Okay, start the high yield way of learning anatomy, biochemistry, physiology in the first 2 years. Okay, I repeat here, understand the high yield. I'm using the word high yield. What you are teaching, sorry, what you are learning in your first 2 years, okay, it says mix up. It is high yield and not high yield. Okay, understand first high yield and then understand the physiology, biochemistry, and anatomy, and immunology section also. Sorry, immunology is in third year, but physiology, biochemistry, and like and biochemistry, anatomy, and physiology. These three subjects, and then okay, go to Kaplan book series, go to whatever other book series, and go to the first aid. Grab the first aid, and after, for example, you are after the end of the first year, all the topic of physiology, biochemistry, and anatomy. Go to the first aid and read that section. Don't go to other section. Okay, read that section only. After reading that section, then you will get it. Oh, I know this. I know this. What is IE? Listen the lectures if you want. Okay, this is a way. I think I will point out the 4 concepts for the first year, second year students. Number one, understand yourself, understand what is college, what is med school, what are pros and cons, what is irregularities in a doctor in Pakistan, what is the benefits in USA, UK, Australia. Explore the examination structure, explore expenditures, and then discuss with your parents, with your families, and make up a plan and understand the word what is high yield, and understand the word. After understanding this, go to the preparatory resources and grab the first aid book and read the physiology, biochemistry, and anatomy. So this is the for all first year and second year students. Okay, I think Dr. Gibran, it was very extensive for the first
Yeah,
year.
yeah. I think you mentioned it all right. Yeah.
So
So
if you
yeah, the
want to add anything
times
for
time.
first
No,
year
no.
or
I think
second year.
you mentioned everything else. Yeah, the times have
Okay,
changed now. So there used to be a time like we don't used to worry that much. But the
exactly.
situation right now is it's that much
I remember
bad.
we were discussing this in the fourth year, and now
Yeah,
it's in
yeah.
first year.
That's true.
It's very like fast generation, and evolution is
Yeah,
happening in thoughts. Evolution is happening in this sphere. Actually, peer pressure is very important thing. Peer pressure is very, I think there is positive peer pressure and negative peer pressure. I will be discussing in a separate video. I have in my mind to discuss the peer pressure. So it that positive peer pressure drives you. Positive peer pressure is very important for students because you are going every day to the college, and then because you are seeing in surrounding, your students are also going and interacting and discussing and learning. When you go to reading room, you will see the your classmate is learning and reading, and you will go to also reading room, and that is positive. This is called positive peer pressure. You are learning from the environment, you are putting yourself in the study. This is a good way. I think in mbbs, I think at this stage, if I evaluate myself and evaluate the other student, this is positive drive was peer pressure, which is positive peer pressure. But many of students who have the negative peer pressure, when their classmates are starting the USMLE, ओह यार मैंने क्यों नहीं स्टार्ट किया यार, मुझे भी करना चाहिए, किसी का यूवर्ड हो जाए, एम्बोस हो जाए, फला यार उसका तो 10% हो चुका है, मेरा तो अभी मैंने स्टार्ट ही नहीं किया. Like these type of things is happen, we will discuss in a separate topic. So stay with us. And now our we will continue the question series. Our next question is uh, Dr. Ahmed Azim is asking about step one attempt and old year of graduation. Can I match it? I have a step one pass, step two 250 scores, and USC 3 months. Okay, US clinical experience is 3 months, and step one is pass, and step two score is 250. So, can you please tell Dr. Gibran? So, what will be the future of this student? Or generalized, you can tell about all the other students who are watching. They have the same situation of step one pass, step two in 50s, and USC clinical experience is 3 months. Thank you.
So I think that's kind of overwhelming yourself, like questioning your abilities and questioning yourself at the same time, that whether you're going to match or not, and letting someone else decide. I think you're going to decide about it. I'm not the one going to say that you're going to match with this profile. You're not going to match with this profile. Your score is, oh, you're not going to match, or you didn't get 3 months or 5 months of your clinical training, or you didn't get the, like, you're not going to match. I'm not here to decide about that. I think it's you who going to decide what are the capabilities of what are the things you're weak in, and what are the things you need to work on. And if you are working on yourself, making yourself better every day, even with the lesser, much weaker profile, this profile is a very good profile and very strong candidate for getting into the residency. I wouldn't say like it's a very bad candidate. So it's one of the top candidates to get into residency. But if you're questioning yourself, you're doubting yourself, if you're not correcting yourself, if you're not improving yourself in that regard, you're weak. That the situation might be different. Then you might have some bad consequences. But if you're working on yourself, if you're improving yourself every day, then it will be entirely different. And what I would suggest to you to keep on making improvement in yourself. Answer, like, if something went wrong, do the root cause analysis. What things can be avoided, what things can be improved. There's always room for improvement. Even today, I need a lot of improvement. I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. Even with the highest score, even with the 99 percentile, you're not perfect. You can make errors, and you learn from them. That's how it works. The main thing is you learn from that. If you're not learning from your mistakes and keeping it all let go, and you're overstressing yourself, the things will be different. But it all depends on you. It all depends. This is a very good profile to get matched into a program. Even with the very low score profile, I've seen people getting matched into the residency. So it all depends on you. It's a very personal thing, and I'm not the one who should be asked for the decision of it, and neither should be anyone asked about it. It's the one you should be answering yourself. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Gibran, for this elaboration. We will continue our question answer series. So our next question is from the Dr. Mujassar Khan. Dr. Mujassar Khan is saying, got it, thank you. Thank you from Dr. Mujassar Khan. Dr. Gibran, thank you for you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is from the Abdullah Asif. Dr. Abdullah Asif. What if I not match? Other options. Okay, I have explained this. No, I will tell you in step-by-step process. This is for all the viewers who are watching at this time. This is very beautiful. I will be discussing all the options other than USMLE in my in video lectures, which will be uploaded on this channel. So follow this. I will be briefly describing other than USMLE, but the detailed explanation I will make a separate video. So this is the answer of Dr. Abdullah Asif. What if not match? Okay, any students, there is number one option. After you are not matching, go for Qatar, because Qatar is accepting USMLE step 2. In 2 years back, Qatar was not having any requirement for a specific Arabic language, but nowadays Qatar is accepting any person who know Arabic. If you have done USMLE step 1, if you have done USMLE step 2, if you have done with OET, if you have been certified with ECFMG, and now you are eligible to apply in Qatar residency, which is Hamad International Hospital. Okay, this is called Qatar residency. You can go to that, but there is many other students who are applying. I have just get the knowledge and the idea about that. The main issue is that they are preferring to all Middle East students who know the Arabic. Okay, the issue is that if you know the Arabic, you can go to Qatar. If you are not opting for USMLE, Qatar is very good option regarding the money, regarding your other, but regarding the your independence, regarding your standard, and like this is not like the US healthcare system, but regarding the money, it's okay. This is one option. Second option, after USMLE, if you are not matched, you can go and apply for Australian Medical Council. Australian Medical Council accepts this USMLE scores, and you will not need to do for AMC like courses, and you will not need to do the registration. And the same like this in the previous years, uh, lab exemption was present in the UK, and but nowadays after exemption of the step 2 CS from the USA, UK is not accepting the applications. UK needs your USMLE step 3 as well as USMLE step 2 clinical component, which is now not being not it is not present. So CS, which previously called USMLE step 2 clinical skills, that was necessary to get the to get your GMC registration, which is called General Medical Council in UK. So you can go to Australia, you can go to UK, but nowadays there is no CS, so it is not possible at this time. But Australian is the best option. You can go. Next option is UAE. UAE. Okay, you can go to United Arab Emirates, like they are accepting in Dubai. You can go. Okay, you can go to other cities also. They are accepting. They have a different exam like Mo exam, Had exam, DHA exams. These are different exams in the Middle East. Okay, so you can apply that. They have the examination structure. They have the like MCQs exams and clinical exams like the USMLE. They have a separate system. But there is one interesting thing that if you have done your USMLE step 3, after USMLE step 3, you are exempted from exams. Okay, so you can go to Middle East like UAE and like other, mostly UAE. In like you can go to any city, they have a different exams. Okay, specifically Abu Dhabi has a different exam name, and Dubai has a different exam name. So you can go and opt this if you have passed USMLE step 3. The requirement in Dubai and Abu Dhabi is step 3, then you can exempt their requirements. If you are just have passed step 1, step 2 and OET and certified, then you can go and check their exam structure. Only you have to take the clinical exams of that. Okay, so after passing their clinical exams, there is also requirement of minimum 1 year after your house job. After your house job, you need a 1 year experience in Pakistan, or recommendation is 2 year post like MBBS or post house job. 2 year experience is needed in Middle East, so you can go to in that area. Okay, and if you are not going in all of these, you can start the lab. Okay, but at this time, lab is already saturated, so you can also opt the Pakistan residency, then FCPS and MDMS. Okay, so in summary, if you are not matched, first of all, I will recommend the best option is without wasting any time, go to Qatar. Okay, and learn the Arabic language. This is number one. If you are not still satisfied, then go to Australia. If still not satisfied, apply for your Dubai exams exemption and go to Dubai, earn the money, and then apply again in a broader aspects in USA while doing a job in UAE. And then you can do a separate start from the lab journey. This is a very beautiful description of how a person can go if not able to match in USA. I think this was very elaborative answer. Hope all the people have listened it and enjoyed it. I think Dr. Gibran, it was anything if you want to add. What are if person is not matching? So I explain all the exams. If you want to add anything, if person is not matching, and I think the question maybe there is two match after 3 match. So what will be the scenario?
Uh, I think you explained it very well. I
Okay,
think,
thank you.
yeah, that will summarize everything. So
Okay, thank you so much. So we'll continue with the next lecture. Sorry, next
yeah.
question. Next question is Abdullah Asif. Okay. Next question is from the Dr. RK. Do the U world systematic or not? Okay, you can do whatever you want. Doesn't matter. Okay. If
Yeah.
you are a fourth year, final year student, you can start the systematic. That is fine because your module system is happening. You are learning slowly, step by step. Many fourth year and final year students start systematically. That is very important point. If you are graduate, if have been already graduated, you are just free from early morning to the late till, so you can do the random. Okay, it is everything is relative. I think I recommend if you are a graduate, you are in a third year, your fourth year, and final year, go for a systematic way and do the system wise. Start with cardiovascular disease or whatever. But if you are a graduate and then start a random, I think I recommend this. What's your idea, Dr. Gibran?
For me, doing the system wise is good. I think specifically for the step one. For step two, you can dare to do it random. I would go for the random one, because if you do the random one and you're doing almost the same question, you kind of making more interconnections between different
Oh, that's
specialties. Yeah, that's the main thing. That's going to help you a lot. But if in step one, I think you should start with system wise approach in the step one. And when you get a hold of it, like specifically when you're done with the first path, then do it random for sure. You don't need to do system wise again. And when you're going for the step two CK, I would advise you to go for the random, because that's how you're going to be examined, and so you're going to train yourself earlier in the step two. That's going to define your score in the exam as well, and your strategy as well, your thought process and your thought blocking process as well. So going it random in the CK, I think would be the most preferable one. Also, it's more of a daring, but it's preferable from my standpoint of view.
okay. Thank you so much. So next we will continue from question from Dr. Talha Daud. Dr. Talha Daud is asking, I'm a first year student. Is there anything I need to do in first year for better? We have done it already. So we have answered it. So you can get this answer in our previous video section. So we have answered it completely. Next is from Dr. 320 Muhaya. Sir, what is the new website name of ECFMG that you told? Yes, My Intel. My INTEALTH. My Intel is a new system which has been developed, which is a replacement of ECFMG. Your all the account information, your certification, your Form 186 registration, and all your account will be managed by the My Intel. It is a USA. You can say this is a USA corporation or organization that will be dealing all the information related to international medical graduate. I repeat, it is a replacement of ECFMG. From the January 2024, My Intel will be dealing with it. Thank you. Next, our question from Dr. Imran is, ये MLE किस country के लिए होता है? Oh, excellent, Dr. Imran. The MLE is called USMLE is a full name. US means United States. MLE is called Medical Licensing Examination. USMLE is called United States Medical Licensing Examination. It is exam for your certification to apply for residency for higher studies in US. This is your answer. Thank you. No problem. And next is question from Dr. Khan. Dr. Khan is asking, I'm gonna start third year. Dr. Gibran, listen, I'm gonna start third year and inshallah. And what should be my timeline? Should I give my exam in my third year or in fourth year?
It depends. It depends on you. It depends on you. Like how you going? If you have like completed the U world in time, like within the third year, completed the U world, you're done with everything. You always already done with the random U world, and you've done the 1 or 2 evaluation and you pass them. Then take it in third year. Otherwise, go in the fourth year if you need to see there's very much improvement. You need to bring in your thought process, in your learning mechanisms, and in your knowledge base and your problem solving strategies. Then you might to consider doing it in the fourth year, but it all depends on you.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's great. Okay, that's great. Actually, I wanted to add something. Best technique is that during your exams, like you are preparing for your stages, your test like in microbiology, pathology, and other the test. I think in this USMLE, all are the similar. Okay, when you are preparing for like let's suppose microbiology, gram-positive bacteria that is coming in your test, which is usually on monthly basis in your like exam and like in your test which are conducted by your department in any college. So go far to prepare from high yield of that topic. Go to the first aid and first read before your test. Grab your knowledge and you will do all the things. Okay, you will be preparing for USMLE steps as well as you will be preparing for your test also. So this is technique or strategy. You can use it or follow it. Okay. So in this way, you can not only will be able to take your test and also you will be preparing for your USMLE, but in excellently in high yield way. Okay. So we will continue with the next question from Dr. Khan. Is there any checklist of the topics that are must to do to pass the step one, or should I memorize the first aid book to cover? So the question, Dr. Gibran, is there anything other than the first aid? There any checklist or topics we should cover?
I think the whole first aid, you should cover the whole first aid. Every topic is important. You can be asked from any and any single line is every single line of the first aid is important. You cannot memorize it. You can only practice it. So if you practice it with the U word, you can memorize it. But if you haven't, you're gonna memorize it, you're gonna forget it. I'm sure you're gonna forget it. Nobody is as good in memorizing stuff. Even with the people who have very good memory of memorizing all of it, you cannot do it. You need to practice it. So just like it's like practicing, just like when in medicine is like practice as well. You're not gonna memorize every stuff. You need to practice the thing that you learn to get incorporated into your daily way of dealing with the patients and analyzing the all the data and labs, everything. So you need to practice it. And UWord is one of the best tools you can get for practicing it. So going for the first aid alone is a very poor strategy, I would say, and not going to give you any benefit at all. So what I would suggest is practicing it a lot with the U word, not only with the U word, but with also with the other question bank if you have the opportunity, especially with the topics that you are really weak in, that you think you need more work to put on those topics. I think you should be doing more question banks for that topic specifically. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so
Right.
much, Dr. Gibran. We will continue next. So question from the Dr. Khan is clear, and next question is from Dr. Arki. Should we buy the UWorld or do it from some websites or apps which give updated UWorld by a reasonable price? Actually, there are many things available in the market, which is copy version and other all the PDF version. Whatever suits you best is best for you. Okay, if you can find it to check it, if it is exactly same quality as delivered by these apps or whatever the resources you are talking about. So if the quality is same, if the question is same, then you can opt it. If you cannot afford the UWorld, if you are not able to like purchase the UWorld or whatever, but it's not we are not endorsing anything other than your best resources. But if any person who is not able to like support like financially weak, and he is doing some offline stuffs and other stuffs which is other than the recommended or high yield resources, so please check it. It must be the same quality as you need it. Okay, so verify it first. Also come to our like mentors, come to text us. We can guide you in this section. So your preparation must be high yield. Okay, thank you. Okay, so our next question is from the Dr. Murtaza Sajad. Dr. Murtaza Sajad question is a house job necessary? We can skip the house job and get straight to USMLE. No, house job is not necessary. You do not need house job. You can get the residency without even your house job, because in USMLE they are just asking about your degree. If any college or any university or international university who is awarding the degree without your 12-month internship, so-called house job, okay, so it is not needed. It is not needed. Okay, when some of the exceptional cases is that like in international graduates from Kyrgyzstan, from China, they have a policy here that they can only give you the degree when you complete 12-month internship, or somewhat like this type of concept is here in international medical graduates. So you can check it according to you. Either you are in Pakistan or either you are in a Kyrgyzstan or in others. So it is not needed generally. If you are in Pakistan, you can just have the degree and then you can apply it. Okay, the next question is Dr. Marwan. I graduated in 2018. Right now, doing my post graduation in Pakistan. Dr. Gibran, I want to do USMLE, but due to being an old graduate, I feel reluctant to do. Kindly suggest, is it worth to start this journey now? 2018 graduate, I have started post graduation in Pakistan. 2018 mean 2 and 4 6 year gap. We will be starting the journey. It means it will take 2 year more. So it will be total 6 year gap. So do you recommend to Dr. Marwan for 6 year gap when he will be applying, and also the all requirement is completed, dedication and steps, and then doing all and financials and everything going smoothly from for the next 2 years and applying in 2016, 2026, and now he will be 6 year old graduates. What is your recommendation, Dr. Gibran?
I would say it is never too old to start your journey, as long as you have the time, things to fill in your gap. You're already doing the postgraduate, so it's never too late. If you are really determined to do it, it's all depend on determination. Like if you're not determined, like thinking it halfway, like you're thinking about lab, USMLE, all the stuff you want to do to give a shot to everything, then it will be a bad choice for you to study it. But if you really want to do it, only the USMLE, not the other things, then you can start it. And because you have things to fill in your gap, and that is really kind of self-explanatory. So I would say it's on your determination, that how much determined are you to go that, because that's the next effort you're going to put in. And with the time frame, I wouldn't say it's a bad choice. I wouldn't say at all. You have more experience, clinical experience, than the other applying in that. Although you have the little bit less number of interviews compared to the younger graduates, but you have more clinical experience, so you always may have something more to offer. So I would say you can. It's not a bad choice at all. It's a good choice considering the situation there in our homeland. So I would say yeah, you should go for it. Don't overthink it. Just make a decision and go for it.
Thank you.
And
So we will
thank you
speed
very
up our
much.
lecture. We will
Yeah.
continue. We will speed up our the question answer sessions. So it is too late. So I will be just continuing the sessions now. The keyword for Dr. Marwan is that keep it up. There is nothing impossible in this world. You can get it. I have seen 8-year-old graduation students getting the match, but you need to make connections. This is a word. You should remember it. You should write it. Make connections, and make connections. This is for you, Dr. Marwan. Thank you. And Dr. Khan, I want to start my journey from scratch. This is already has done. Dr. Khan, guide step 1 complete. In the third year subjects and Pathoma micro, should I go for the first aid, start my journey in the first aid and along with the Uber? So Dr. Khan, fourth question is that what should I do? I think you can find this answer in our previous video. I have explained in detail what you should start and how you should start it. First aid is a first book you should start from now. And for further guidance, you can contact me. You can WhatsApp me on this platform of Sims Prep. I can answer you. I can make a plan for you for the detailed discussion. Thank you. Next, Dr. Usama Ali. Are there any best resources for learning how to do research on YouTube and any other website? Can you guide about it? So this is a research question. We will be having a webinar on this research. So the quick answer is that yes, there are many resources you can find on YouTube, but I recommend personally go to Coursera and Udemy courses or some other a few of these websites. They are very important and they have a free sessions here. And in future, we will be having sessions about the researches. I will be inviting the doctors from the America and like the UK, and they will be discussing and telling you what is the start of the research. Okay, we will be doing this inshallah in future. So follow us and tell us what we should do. Your suggestions are very important. Text us in my WhatsApp. So I will be writing your these suggestions and I will be doing seminars about that. Okay, so research will be discussed in the next seminars or webinars. The simple answer is that you can go to YouTube, you can go to Coursera medications and other Udemy and other courses. So the free courses are available. Okay, next question is from Dr. Mujashar Khan. If I am done with step 1, 2, and 3, my steps are valid for 7 years, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Your steps are valid for 7 years, but your CMG certification going to get expired. So what I would say is, yeah, it all depends on your CMG certification. If you get expired, you need to certify for the CMG again. You don't need to take steps again, but it is valid for 7 years for sure. But you need to get certified because the certification these days, previously it used to you get certification for unlimited time, but now after the COVID, they have changed the policy. So you need to get certified for like again if your certification is expired. That's the answer for that. I hope it answered the question, and we can move to the next question.
Yes, obviously. Next question is from Ahmed Hassan. I am in second year. How can I start? We have discussed this already.
Oh, yeah, we discussed this question. Yeah.
So you can go back and listen the what is first year and second year guide. Next question is from obviously that there are so many resources. How many should we use? And I started with bootcamp but kept missing out stuff in BNB. We have already discussed it. Go to extensive lecture series. BNB is only a simple high yields. Just a few of the concepts are covered. If you need extensive series, go for Dr. Najib lectures. If you need more extensive, then Dr. Najib is preferred. If you need less extensive, you can go to join our sessions free on Zoom meetings, and you can find any other on the YouTube. Okay, so Dr. Subhan Javed, what's about the PMC accreditation by WFME? Okay.
So I will answer this question. So PMC has already completed the World Federation of Medical Education. It's one of the world federation that make sure your medical graduates are good to compete in the go around the world. They don't have any problem. They kind of accredited by that. So most of the PMDC accredited institution have already been accredited by the WFME. So you don't need to worry about it. I think PMC has already completed it. So yeah, we're good for that. So next question.
Okay, so next question is that are we supposed to do the whole UWorld?
Yes, you're supposed to do the whole UWorld. And I think AMBOSS is one that you should be looking for if you're weak in certain stuff, and also the RX, but UWorld and AMBOSS is enough.
Okay, thank you. So next question. Actually, there will be in 5 minutes, Dr. Gibran will be leaving, and the question answer session will be led by Dr. Zawar and Dr. Umair. So I will be requesting that the few of the questions we will answer it. and that are related to the Dr. Gibran, and then we will continue our series with Dr. Zwar Asif, who has just visited the more than 7 states in USA. So he will be telling about what are the different question answer sessions for in USA. So I will be just making a further 5 minutes with Dr. Gibran. I'm finding questions related to Dr. Gibran. Let me find the specific answer. I want to start my USMLE journey. And Dr. Gibran, this question is for you from Dr. Shoaib Aziz. So please stay with us. We will answer all the questions. I will be discussing one or two questions with Dr. Gibran, and he will be leaving, and then we will continue our question answer session with Dr. Zwar also. Okay, Dr. Gibran, I want to start my USMLE journey. I graduated in 2015 now. Is it possible after clearing USMLE I may get? So there is a gap of 8 years. Now
Yeah,
it's
I
brown.
think it's a problem, but I've seen people doing it. I've seen people doing it even with 10 year of graduation. So I'm again saying it's all depend on you. How determined are you? How much you're going to sacrifice, and how much are you willing to do? How much you're willing to pay the effort, because it's very much extra effort. And at that year of graduation, you're also kind of tired. You don't have that much companion with you doing the same stuff, but you have more connections that can help you in the interviews and more clinical experience. So it's always you who can do it. I think it's not a bad year of graduation. Nothing is bad in that scenario at all. Although I know sometimes they prefer younger graduates, but I think we already discussed a lot about this thing. uh, you should just need to make a decision, and nothing is too much old, although it's going to be 10 years of graduation when you're going to be applying after 2 years. So but I've seen people matching in here with over 10 plus year of graduation. So
We will continue with a question of from that is Dr. Obviously Dead. Okay, so Dr. Obviously Dead is saying, what he is saying, uh, there are so many resources. There are so many resources. How many should we use? I started with bootcamp, but I kept missing. Okay, so I would like to repeat this answer. I have already given this answer. So when you are using the resources, it's depend upon you. Okay, it's depend upon you. Either which is best for you. If you are undergraduate students, I will be recommending to start with the first aid. I will be recommending to start with the first aid, and then there must be like after you are in graduation, and then you can start it with other lecture resources which is needed for your basic knowledge. Okay, so you can understand that basic is very important in USMLE step 1. The basic is covered. Basics is covered. Okay, so you need the lectures. If you already are undergraduate students, it is less likely you will need the basics. So we have discussed it already. So okay, so what about idea about Dr. Swar for resources in this?
Yes, hello everyone. I think that Dr. Jibran and Dr. Kamran has discussed all the things.
Dr.
What's
Zwar,
important is
are you here?
yes, yes, yes. I am
I
here.
think there
Can you
is a
listen
connectivity
me?
issue with Dr. Zwar. I will be continuing the question answer session now. So our next question from
Yes, I am here.
Dr. Subhan Javed. What's about PMC? It's done already, obviously done. So next question is medical in abroad. Can I give step 2 before graduation? Of course, you can do the step 2 before graduation, but certification is necessary when you graduate. Okay, so there are two processes that are important. One of them is that you should know about the process of certification. Okay, process of certification. If you are a student, okay, who has just passed the USMLE and step 1, step 2, taken the OET, you need a degree to get the certification. Okay, if you do not have the degree, it's mean you can pass USMLE step 2, but your verification and your certification will be done when you get the degree after your final year medical exam. Is that clear? Okay, so answer for your specific doctor, that is yes, you can do USMLE step 2. Okay, you can do it, no problem. And of course, you can do it. Okay, so our next question is from the Shoaib Aziz. Dr. Shoaib Aziz. I want to start my USMLE journey, but I graduated in 2000. We have already done it. Okay, next is Usama Akram. From Usama Akram, the word is amazing. You are amazing people. And Dr. Usama Akram, you are amazing. Thank you so much for your appreciation. Next is Dr. Awais Mahmood. Dr. Awais Mahmood is saying, my university is not on the WFME. Actually, he has misspelled WDOMs. Okay, that is ineligible for ECFMG certification. What should I do? The answer is Only Allah can do for this, because your degree is verified in that country, in that state. So, okay, so there is no option other than this. You can apply other than USMLE in UK or AMC or in Qatar, UAE, where there is not that type of WFME requirement. So you can search on Google, you will find the answer. So which is the I will be fulfilling the requirement in other exams. So I will be suggesting don't waste on USMLE if your country is not eligible. So go to other exams. Okay, so our next Dr. Marwan is saying that thank you so much, Dr. Gibran and Dr. Kamran. Thank you, Dr. Marwan, for your kind answer, kind appreciation. Okay, thank you so much. Next is Dr. Mahavir Suthar. He has deleted the message. No problem. Thank you, Dr. Mahavir Suthar. We are here for you. You can text us if you don't want to post it here. You can text it. We will answer it. No problem. Welcome anytime. You will go and search my WhatsApp is given in the Facebook or in the YouTube in this link. So you can WhatsApp me if you do not want to. So many of students who are very actively wants to ask the questions, so they can send the question in my WhatsApp number. When I will be free, I will be answering it. Okay. Next is from Dr. Usama Akram. When will you start the classes of USMLE? If yes, please tell the time. Okay, I am available and I have been starting this lecture from previous 1 month. I have completed my cardiovascular series. I teach from USMLE first aid book. I have the edited first aid book. I have added the different resources from UWord, from Emboss, from Up to Date, from the very high yield pool, and then I add it on the blank pages in the first aid. Then I teach in my own style, in my own different way. In this lecture, I cover not only the theory, but also the questions as well as the most important exam tips about that resources. Okay, so I have completed a 17 lectures of cardiovascular series, and now we are discussing endocrinology. So tomorrow, Monday, we will be having from 8 p.m. to 9:30 our online class. Anybody can join. Either we will be having this on Zoom meeting or on YouTube live. Okay, so you can visit our WhatsApp group. I have made a WhatsApp group where I will be regularly posting the link of the Zoom meeting. It is a free link. You can join at any time. So I recommend Dr. Usama Akram and all the other doctors join our WhatsApp group session, so that you will be notified before the meeting, and you will be get this link on my WhatsApp group. Okay. So I hope Dr. Usama Akram, you have find the answer. And next question is Dr. Abbas Mahmood. Dr. Abbas Mahmood, like the first batch from my college is not graduated, I am still able to do the ECFMD registration. I have to wait until the pioneer batch graduation. Yes, I have explained it already, but I repeat here. You can take USMLE Step 2 before your graduation, but certification is very important. For your certification, there is a second backup plan is here. Go to your university and ask them. They will give you a degree letter, certification letter. There is a letter which is called degree letter. Okay, so you can go and ask them before your actual graduation ceremony. Some of the colleges are not giving you the degree. Okay, so they can give you a degree certificate or degree letter or degree awarding diploma. This is called degree awarding diploma. Okay, there is actual degree. I repeat here, there is actual degree and there is called degree awarding diploma. That diploma mentioned or that certificate mentioned that the student X is graduate of this university and now is undergoing this. He has taken the he has taken the final exams, because of course they will mention it that he has done his clinical exams, which is final year exams or internship, or they will mention that they have the completed, and then the degree will be awarded at some later time. Okay, so this person is eligible now. So this is called diploma letter or degree certificate. So you can get this from your medical college. Okay, you can go to the section, admin section, and ask them, I need to certify if this is applicable, give me the letter. Usually this happens for your USMLE Step 2 exam when you upload this degree certificate or during your certification. Some of the colleges have a account which is called ECFMG, or now it is called My Intel Portal, which is managed by a college or university department. They automatically verify the status, but sometimes degree diploma is required for your certification. So there is a difference of degree and diploma, or it is called degree awarding certificate. So you can get degree awarding certificate and get your self registration. Okay, thank you. Okay, next question is that Dr. Mahavir Sutar, do the scores matter more than USC in getting interviews? Okay, so it is actually a relative question. I will answer briefly. Scores and USC, they have both have the impact. Let's suppose this is X program, this is Y program. X program is saying that I have a filter in my algorithms when I will be receiving more than 200 application, 300 application, 400 application, and I have a spot just 2 people. Okay, 2 people to hire in my hospital. So the program will apply the filter. What are the filters? Filters are score filters, USC filters, USMLE step 3 filter, and there are some other filter which is called connection filter. Okay, I'm joking. There is also a filter that is called connectivity, or you can say it recommendation. The word recommendation is used usually in US system or in other healthcare system. Okay, so there are filters. When the program receives many of the applications, like bunch of application, I have just doing 100 in thousands of applications. So they have a filter here. Okay, they will filter it like minimum USMLE step score 240, because now it's pass fail. So they will not give the filter of USMLE step 1. They will select the filter of USMLE step 2. They will select USMLE step 1 filter. This USMLE step 2 filter is 250, 240. Usually they take 240 or 230. 240, 230 is the like sometime higher program or much like well established program use 240 to 50 to 6 to 55 up to 255. Many of the program are using 260 even. Okay, but majority of the program use 220. Okay, the baseline or minimum value of your score is 220. 220 is the filter on the website, which is Residency Explorer website. They have mentioned that there is 220 minimum requirement by many of the programs. So when you got the filter, let's suppose any program select the filter 250. It means score are mattering. Scores matters. Okay. When you are not in filter less than 250, of course you are filtered out. You are filtered out. No one can get the entry. Otherwise, you have the fourth concept is recommendation. Okay. Next is USC. Some of the, of course, many of the hospital have filter of clinical experience, minimum 2 months. Some have minimum 1 month. Usually 1 month clinical experience is accepted, but 3 letter they are demanding. Okay, so at least 3 months, or you can say it is a 12-week experience in US healthcare system or any healthcare system. Okay, that when you are applying for match, they are required 3 months experience required. Okay, so some program take a filter of 2 months, some may be having accepting a 1 month. And but the 3 letters you have to upload on when you are applying for the match. In these 3 letter, you can upload a 1 letter from your college or dean, you can upload the other from your US experiences. So in overall, when I answer this question of Dr. Mahavir, so simple answer will be score and your clinical experience both matters. But above all this, your recommendation matters the most. Okay, the score and US clinical experience matter. Okay, but recommendation, if available, it can conceal, it can hide your low scores, it can hide your low clinical experience. If I will say if a recommendation is present and your scores are low, you are more likely to have the interview call. If your clinical experience is not available and even you still have the recommendation, then a less likely chance. So it's mean clinical experience is important for your getting the interviews, because the recommendation only works when you have the US clinical experiences. Is that clear? So get the US clinical experience and improve your scores. But now score is limitation, like 240 plus is okay, not so much important, and improve your further CV. Okay, do not go for blindly on scoring system. I will take the 270, nothing important. Get 240 or plus and improve yourself, your communication skills, your US clinical experiences, and your connections and your recommendations. So this is a simple overview of the answer of Dr. Uh, Mahir. Okay, our next is Dr. Ziaullah. Ziaullah question, if I do my electives in Pakistan, will they be considered? Okay, will they be considered? Actually, when you are uploading, they demand 3 letters. What you are uploading, it is depending upon the program director when he will be receiving your PDF form or like your letter form. Okay, when the program director will be seeing this, so this is from Pakistani college or Pakistani hospitals, he will not give importance to that. So in general, the question on the answer is that no, Pakistani letters are not recommended unless you are unable to go USA and you want to apply without going to USA, because without you going to USA you cannot take the observership letters. It is illegal, of course, and because when you will go and you will prove that you have the visa and then you get the observership. But Something is better than nothing. If you want to apply without going USA, without doing observership, then you can went any good hospital in Pakistan. And my preference go to MDs who have just passed the steps, who are many MDs are available in Pakistan who have just left the USA working in Pakistan and get the letter from that. Okay, this is very important point. Don't get the letter from a simple doctor. Either he is professor, either he is a chief of like hospital, either he is the like health minister. Doesn't matter in USA care system. If there is minor contribution, that is MD. Okay, so find out in your surrounding who is USMD and opting are there are many available doctors in the whole. You will find it on Oladoc and other channels in Marham.pk and very other, and you can find them, meet them and ask them if they can allow you, they can do the job here and do the work under supervision of these MDs and get the letter if you are not able to go to USA. So this is a simple answer for Dr. Ziaullah. So Dr. Ziaullah, I hope you get your answer. Okay, our next question is Dr. Arslan Kush. Okay, Dr. Arslan, how to begin step one preparation? Okay, step one preparation. I have explained it already. I will revise it quickly in a summarized way. Step one, you should start from the first aid book. Grab your first aid book and a highlighter and your notebook. Start with this first aid book. Okay, when you will be reading the first aid, you will need a energy, a driving force. Next, my strategy: get the driving force. What is driving force? That is your motivation. That is your surrounding. Okay, familiarize yourself with USMLE oriented surroundings. Grab the book, go to reading room, go to your group of students who are studying, go to USMLE aspirants, sit with them and then start study. Because automatically when you will sit in the environment of this USMLE and you will be learning passively, as well as from this passive learning, you will get the active response. This is my second best technique. First, make up mind. Okay, tell the parents and explore the USMLE journey, make up the plan, grab the first aid, go to the surrounding environments where USMLE parents are present, start the journey. Listen our lectures daily. Okay, text us on WhatsApp. You can join on Zoom or meetings daily. Okay, we are covering endocrinology section. So this is a bunch of high yield things I am discussing. I can guarantee this is no more than the beautiful lecture other than my lecture. You will listen it on my YouTube channel. I have made many good illustrations after this first aid series. I make sketches. I have histology. I have the like different like CT scans available in just one topic. Okay, when we are, let's suppose, discussing about pericarditis, I will grab all the different types of pericarditis and all the pictures and the symptoms and all the things in one. Let's suppose we are discussing in endocrinology, there is a different type of Hashimoto thyroiditis, what is histology. So I will upload this picture in my book, in my extra edited pages, and I will teach you and tell you what is this picture and what is this picture. So this is my way. So you can join it, you can enjoy it. Okay. So further, I will guide it in my WhatsApp group. You can join it slowly. And also we will be doing question answer sessions daily in my YouTube channel. You can subscribe it. I will be uploading many of the videos related to USMLE, PLAB, MRCP. So stay with us. Okay. Thank you. Next is Dr. Uzair Gabol. Next question is Dr. Sushma. Dr. Sushma, how to join the WhatsApp? Go to description of this online session. You will find my WhatsApp number. You text here and you will get my WhatsApp group link here. Okay. Go to description of this webinar and you will be finding my WhatsApp number. Text here and you will find the, all your answers. Okay. So next is the RK where I get the eligible viewer. There is okay, there is many other like resources. You can get it, you can find it. Okay, so I have already explained it here. Next is Dr. Uzair Gabol. My Intel app is postponed. I applied for registration in 15th December 2023, but there is no response. What should I do? I have been receiving this response from many of students. Stay okay, calm, and okay, there is no need to worry about that. ECFMG and My Intel have explained it on their website that few of students who applied in December are pending, and we will resume their application when My Intel full shifting will be done. Okay, so there is no issue, and already there is accreditation has been done with Pakistan. So no issue with that. So you can wait it until they have completed the My Intel accreditation process, and they have when they will complete the update of this My Intel, and then they will resume your application. Okay, is that clear? And thank you so much. So here is the end of our webinar. Okay, so I have explained all the things, answer and question session, and then we have discussed about all the steps related to the from your USMLE Step 1 journey till your residency. Okay, so we have explained what are USMLE Step 1. We have explained what are study resources for USMLE Step 1. We have discussed the what are the exams techniques, and we have discussed USMLE Step 2, and we have discussed the USMLE Step 2 resources, and then we discussed the registration process. And after that, we have discussed the most important part of our seminar was total USMLE expenditures. And in this expenditures, we have discussed about almost 40 to 45 lakhs. So remember, 40 to 45 lakh is it can vary depending upon your condition. It may be 35 lakh, it may be 50 lakhs, it depending upon whether you are going in which state, your observership are free or your observership are paid. It's depending upon that condition. Okay, so next we discuss about the visa related issues. We will be having a visa seminar soon, and then we have discussed about the flights and residence in USA and air tickets. What are the different points about that? And then we have discussed about USMLE Step 3. In this USMLE Step 3, what are the techniques, and we have discussed what are the problems you can face during your residence in USA while you are doing observership. Because observership and USMLE Step 3 is difficult to do at the same time. And next we have discussed about the like match process. So how to apply the match process, what are the fees, and what are the different techniques. Dr. Gibran has discussed it very beautifully. And then we have discussed about the resources. And the last we have discussed about your own pathway to residency. And now it is the end of the session. We have discussed many of the questions and their answers. So if you have any questions still we are not like able to describe here, you can WhatsApp us, and you can follow us on Zoom. You can follow us on YouTube. You can follow us on the Facebook. So stay with us. Thank you for all joining here. So I will be very happy. I will be very happy if you can go to tell your colleagues, your seniors, your juniors, and tell about this platform, Sims MedPrep platform. Okay. So this is very, very beautiful. So we will be having many of the sessions, and one of the most important sessions of these will be the USMLE Step sessions. In this USMLE Step sessions, we will be having a daily first aid book series. And this first aid book series, we will cover the high yield way, what are the different techniques, exams, and all the preparations. And we are also having the lab sessions, MRCP. Okay, MRCP section is available, and we can have the first aid series that can cover FCPS part 1. This first aid series can cover the MDMS and also the NEET PG for Indian students, and also for NRE National Registration Examination, that is for foreign medical graduates. So this first aid lecture is super high yield and very important. Okay, so you can get it. So you can get it this first aid series, and so after this first aid series, MRCP section is available. In MRCP section, we are having our own notes. I create and collect from different notes, and I teach from the our own created notes. So you can find this in our videos. Okay, so I have like all the other systems available. In next, we will be having the USMLE webinars, and we will be having lab webinars, and we will be having the other like most important webinars will be visa related issues. We will be inviting other residents from the USA, and after that, we will be inviting most of the other like MRCP resident from the UK. We will be inviting Australian medical council resident here that can give you the more impactful guide here. So thank you so much. Stay with us and follow our all the social media handles. So we will be discussing more about all these exams. Thank you so much. Dr. Kamran signing off. Thank you.